Welcome to Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy and Dino. Get ready to dive into the wild world of Minnesota hunting, trapping, and wildlife. We'll be chatting with some folks who protect, manage, and promote the great outdoors. But don't worry, we'll also have some laughs as we chat about guns, whiskey, and anything else that catches our eye. So grab a drink, sit back, and get ready for a good time. Down the Barrel Podcast is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association
and wolf.report. Wolf.report, a platform dedicated to elevating the voices of Minnesota hunters, trappers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Join us in advocating for responsible wolf management in Minnesota. Share your reports, photos, and stories, and together we will ensure that they are seen by all.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, protecting the future of deer and deer hunting through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation. All right, so today we're talking with Alice from Wiese Outdoors.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Always a pleasure hanging out with Dino and Jimmy.
Yeah, it was this spring we talked, wasn't it?
Right before Walleye Opener, I believe.
Yeah, it was around opener.
Yep.
You're right. Yep.
So a lot of things have happened since then.
A lot of things have happened.
Yeah, and so why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? And Again. For those who didn't listen to us the first time.
Yeah, all five of them.
Right. Yeah, at that time we had like 10 subscribers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am Alice Wiese, and together with my husband, Justin, we own and operate Wiese Outdoors Guide Service located here in Reamer, Minnesota. We provide 4 seasons of fun from summer fishing, ice fishing, guided black bear hunting, and guided grouse hunting.
Yeah, that's cool.
How come you don't do deer hunting?
I know you hunt in northern Minnesota.
I mean, I know the answer, but...
You know, we would. My husband, where he originally grew up in west central Minnesota, it's awesome. The agriculture of deer, where you can kind of pattern them a little bit better.
Right.
I mean, we live right in the heart of the Chippewa National Forest, and it's...
There's no patterns there.
There's no pattern. There's so much cover, and competition. Not so much. Other hunter pressure. We do depending on the area. There's quite a bit, but one of the benefits is having the extended season up here. We do get an extra week to hunt compared to where we used to, but. It's hard to pattern. It's hard to find, and there's a lot of cover.
Yeah.
A lot of cedar swamps out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough just to try to pattern them for yourself, let alone pattern
in multiple locations.
Yeah, and then, count on. I mean, it's hard just to try to, I feel bad sometimes going out with my son and trying to find deer. I can't imagine, having somebody pay me to do it. So, no doubt. I can see where that would be tough.
And to be honest, too, Justin and I are avid deer hunters. That is our time that we dedicate. We take a step away. That's just our time, our family, where it's not pressured. It's not, one of the things that people don't understand, the stressful things about being a guide is you are so set on having your hunters or fishermen, basically your clients having success that it gets stressful. So I mean that's our break is our whitetail season.
Yeah, well, that's cool. And you guys just had bear camp.
Bourbon camp.
There you go.
Urban bear camp.
Yes, we did. We just closed up this was our 11th season, and it was an absolute banner year.
Cool.
16 hunters, one of which actually included my husband as one of the hunters too. He was able to take out also, but we're 16 for 16.
Nice.
Technically 17 for 16. So
yeah,
we'll get into that story.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. So obviously better than last year.
Yes.
Because I do remember in the spring we kind of talked about that a little bit, and it had to be better than last year.
It was incredibly. So last year we had 18 hunters, and although we should have probably had about 10 bear or so on the ground, we actually only had 5 harvested. We were fighting so many battles with nature last year, between the heavy acorn crop, the drought, the temperatures in the high 90s for 4 days straight.
Right, yeah.
We had one day that we had to call because of severe thunderstorms moving through the area. This year could not have been a better pick-me-up after coming out of last season.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's pretty awesome. So, what was the biggest bear?
Biggest bear at camp this year, I believe, dressed out at 334.
Wow, that's a big old bear.
It's a big bear. That'd be nice to see.
It was.
Yeah.
It was even funner to drag out. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
Any cool colors? Any?
actually, we we actually have a high population of chocolate phases. This in our local area, we have a high population of chocolate phases. So usually every year we get more than a couple that are chocolate phases. This year we actually didn't have any up until last night. So
Okay.
our final hunter took the last bear last night. Old sow, but beautiful chocolate color. So
Nice.
Yeah, because I talked to a guy over by me, and I don't know, I think they had 3 hunters, or they're not gotten those on their own.
Yeah.
But they harvested 3 for 3, and they had one and he talked about a really dark chocolate phase. He said it was one of the prettiest chocolates he's ever seen. So
yeah, and we're always surprised. I mean, we had a lot on cameras throughout the baiting season leading up into bear hunting. But yeah, none of our hunters bagged chocolate up until last night. So
Score.
Gotcha. So bear bait. Where do you get your bear bait from?
yeah, so a majority of our bulk bear bait, like the actual fillers, trail mix, Oreos, things like that, a majority of it comes from Wildwood Bear Baits. They're located just south of Brainerd, Minnesota. Fantastic family. Have had a relationship with them for a very, very long time now, basically since we started. When Gordon Morris used to run it, he sadly passed away a few years ago, but now it has been completely taken over by his son and his granddaughter. And terrific family. They have all of your favorites. So we get a majority of our product there. I will say it was kind of nice because he actually sold out of trail mix. So having Lucky 7 bear bait right here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota was really convenient this year.
I bet.
Those guys are great over there too. Very, very nice. They loaded us up with the remainder of what we needed. And for attractants this year, we are running Bear Sense, and hands down by far the best scent and attractants that we have ever used. It's super, super concentrated, and they don't add any water to it. It's not diluted whatsoever. So the benefit of that being is it doesn't freeze. People kind of think, well, what would be necessary about that, here in, late August, early September. But a lot of our bait, that we have can potentially carry over to use in the next season. And all of our bait is outdoor storage. And
Yeah.
some of the products that we were using before, we'd notice, you get 1 year in and you go to use it the next year and it's not as potent and things
Yep.
like that. I could not be more impressed with Bear Sense, and they're a terrific product. Again, another great small business that we like to support. So
Right. So Lucky 7, that's the new place in town, right?
Correct. Yep.
So they're well stocked over there?
very,
Are they?
very.
I haven't been in there yet.
No, terrific people. Yeah, all it was a phone call. They actually knew who we were and pulled up with the truck and trailer. They loaded us up and kind of saved our butt this year because we were running out. The bears were hungry this year, and we
that's
were
what
running
I
out of
heard,
bait.
that everybody's been doing really good because of the lack of natural food in the woods this
Yep.
year.
Yeah, because I read a CO report or something that they were just now seeing the acorns fall and everything else.
Right.
So they were luckily,
Yep.
kind of a week
Luckily.
later maybe.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. And even, up through baiting and everything, when you're looking in the high oaks and whatnot, you're looking up there. We had nowhere near the amount of acorns on the tree compared to seasons in the past. And it was kind of surprising. We had a relatively wet summer, but the berry crop wasn't as
Abundant.
There you go.
Right,
It wasn't as abundant as
Yeah.
in years past. I mean, and they took a little bit longer to dry up, but overall, these bear were getting into everything. We've lived at our place for 7 years. This is the first year that they actually got into our bait. Tried to get into our bait shed, but they took us for about 5 barrels of bait while I was on vacation
Well, I think
in
everybody's
Alaska.
been having trouble with bears this year.
Yeah, we've had
Everybody.
trouble. All our
I've
neighbors did.
Dad, everybody. I think everybody up here is really struggling. I think the bears were struggling to get food, so they were just into everything.
Well, right, because the berries weren't out yet. They were later, or they were smaller.
And I have not heard a single person talking about the blueberry harvest. So
No.
it must be pretty sad this year.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen anything
Me either.
in terms of blueberry or foraging. The mushrooms this year were incredible, but
Right.
Yeah, even Jamie, Chick of the Wood, she had mentioned how the mushrooms were doing really well this year.
Must be the only thing because
Right.
I think the raspberries did okay, but the blueberries I don't think did.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen pickers. I've been by my house. We have a blueberry patch, and then there was nothing.
Yeah, and I think the raspberries behind our place, I don't remember them being as big as what they have been either. So
I think it was the wet spring.
yeah. Oh, I think so too.
Slowed everything down.
So what's your go-to bear bait, or what's your base, or your most
Successful.
best? Yeah. Your best bear
so
bait.
we actually just did a YouTube video on this on what we use. Sweets and everything are good for getting them to come in, but just like us, if they have too much of something that gives them a sour stomach, they'll come to know that. That's why so many people have so much success right off the bat, and then all of a sudden people, or the bears start coming in a little bit. So that's why so many people will oftentimes have success, right off the bat with baits, because they come in and they're attracted to that, of course. But after a while, the bears will kind of tend to go away from the bait, And so we actually use a lot of the good fillers, the trail mix, the nuts, dried fruits, things like that. We use a lot of black oil, sunflower seeds, and whole oats. We use corn very, very sparingly. We use cracked corn. It's a great filler, and they love it, but it could be actually, kind of hard on their digestive system. So that's kind of our primary filler. And then just like anything, we have the gummies, we have the cookie dough, we have the, cereal, things like that, just to kind of, curb their sweet tooth a little bit.
Right.
And then other than that, that's primarily what we put in our baits.
Yeah. And do you guys run trail cams on all these baits?
Not all of them. I wish we had that much money to run about 40 trail cams, but no.
You run that many baits? You run 40 baits?
At our highest year running baits was a couple of years ago, was 42.
Wow.
I think we had.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So
I struggled to run one.
So we start. So as per being a master bear outfitter for the state of Minnesota, we're allowed 3 baits per licensed clients, and then each Justin and I, since we're both master bear outfitters, we're allowed 3 baits per our license. So we start out setting, depending on how many people we have coming that year. So like this year, we had 15 hunters, 16 including my husband. We start out setting as many as we possibly can. That whole opening weekend of baiting is just getting baits established. After that, we kind of dial back and focus on the more active baits, the ones that are consistent, consecutive. So like this year for 15 hunters, we had at the end of it 24 baits. Some of them are our tried and true. I know a bear's coming off that bait, so we don't have to worry about having an additional. Ideally, in a perfect world, what we like every season is to start the season having 2 active baits per licensed client. So
Nice. So how do you pick where to put your bear bait? Your location.
yeah, Onyx, I can say, is probably the biggest asset we have. And, finding bait locations and everything is a never ending job. All year round. So a lot of times, we do a lot of our scouting in the later part of fall, early winter, things like that. Whether we're actually out there scouting for new bear area, or maybe we're heading to a backwoods pond to go chase big bluegills, and hey, this might be a good spot to try. We kind of keep that in mind.
Yep.
A lot of times we just pull up Onyx and we'll notice our biggest thing that we always want to make sure we're near is water. Very, very rarely will any of our bait sources be, any more than 200 yards or so away from water. We want to have a constant water source. So be it swamp, beaver pond, flowage, anything. So we know that they're getting
Everything they need.
everything they need.
Yeah.
But other than that, also areas of heavy cover. And then we kind of like to mix it up a little bit. We do have some we have some baits that are in very low land that are very successful. On years that we have kind of more of an acorn crop, we notice that majority of our bear taken are in kind of like the hardwood areas where those acorn, where they're already, traveling naturally for that food. So it kind of plays around, and it does depend on the year. It depends on the season, how much natural food is out there. But heavy cover and water nearby are two of our biggest things. Black bear are relatively an elusive animal, so they don't, like to come out in the open or anything. But that's for the area that we're at. Now, if you look in, say, north central, west central Minnesota, where the bear...
We're dumb.
where the bear
Well, they're definitely more open areas.
Areas. I mean, they're on the edges of cornfields set up, because those bears are traveling back and forth and destroying crop. They can do hell on a cornfield, soybeans, oats. They can do some damage. So, and those typically aren't the bears, natural area. That's why a lot of those areas are, say, in no quota, or even if they are quoted areas, that's why, they can do hell on some egg land.
Yeah. So how was the quota this year? Was it up? It seems how the harvest was so bad last year. Was quota just normal?
Actually,
was it down?
No. We were anticipating them to increase the tags, but they didn't. In fact, in 2 areas, they dropped the number of tags issued. So that was quite surprising. So it's going to be interesting to see what the decision is as for next year, because I haven't seen the actual numbers yet, but our harvest numbers, I know for a fact, are up this year.
Oh, they have to be.
Do they have with deer hunting, I know they have that active harvest numbers. Do they have that with bear?
Not with bear. At least I haven't found it. So if anybody knows if they have one of those, because it's something that I continually call in and kind of check. But usually those numbers are generally posted around the release of the regulations books.
Well, I think we'll have a guest in here pretty quick. That might be able to help us with
some
that.
questions, because what the heck, DNR? Why do you do it for deer but not for bear?
Right. Obviously, you get that information in the same time frame, because I'm assuming you have to register a bear within 48 hours.
It'd be helpful. I mean, and I do see. I haven't been able to find a site that says, "Oh, here's what the numbers are as of today." So maybe there is. I do know that people are quoting numbers. Like if you look at Facebook pages like Minnesota Bear Page and everything, saying, "Oh, the numbers are up," and yet they're not actually providing numbers, or they're not providing a link. So I don't know where they're getting
telling
this.
them the numbers are up?
Yeah, it's like, are they
maybe just people's stories?
That's what I was saying. Are they going to the local, holiday or bear registration place, and they're like, hey,
are they talking to the guides? Because obviously Alice would know.
Or CEOs,
you were
maybe.
Up from last year. Well, CEOs would be a good one, yeah.
What was that?
You were up from last year. I mean, harvest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're up. I mean, being too shy of 2 hunters this year compared to last. I mean, like I said, last year harvest was 5 for 18, and this year we're 16 for 16. So
wow,
that's good.
That's crazy
awesome.
Good.
We needed this year.
She had 16 hunters. That's a lot.
It was.
And you guys only do your bear camp for that first week,
correct?
More or less.
Correct.
Wow.
And that's a decision based on a lot of factors. Historically, over 80% of the bear harvested in Minnesota will generally come within that first week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For us, it's also overall expense if we were to continue baiting. When we first started this guide service, we started it from season start to season end, and then we're like, we're not making any money. You do have to have a cut off there. As a for instance, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money. Gas, bait, things like that, and let's be honest, I can't cook for that many people for that many days.
So you actually host your hunters at your home, right?
I do. We host them at our home. We don't have any formal lodging, but
a lot of campers.
A lot of campers.
So it's legit bear camp is what you're saying.
And the reason why we only guide the first week is just overall success, and the chance of success is much higher. We are in such a high area for small game once the small game season opens up, that by the time that happens, I mean, almost immediately these bear turn nocturnal. And, let's be honest, I don't want to pay to feed a nighttime bear.
Right.
Right. Well,
It's expensive. I mean, I've baited bear for myself, and I run out of bait after the first week because I've been baiting so long before then. Everything I have is gone.
well, then on top of that, you guys do the bird, you do guided bird hunt. So of course it would.
Yeah, so we do guided grouse hunting as well. So we got to start, we do the guided bird hunting as well. So we have to just basically move from one season right into the next. The last 2 weeks of September after we shut down bear camp, that's where our focus is, running the dogs, making sure, we run our dogs, of course, all year, but just making sure they're fine-tuned to get into the grouse woods. And then basically October is our big month for grouse hunting. That's when a lot of the foliage falls and things like that.
Yeah, I was just looking, as you were talking at DNR's website, I cannot find, I just type in bear, assuming that I don't see any harvest.
I think they updated at the end of the season, and that's it.
Yep, and I think so too.
Right.
Which is a bummer. I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, especially last year compared to this year,
right. With
and
today's technology, they should be able, you have to register, and as soon as you register, it should be live.
I don't disagree at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I was just actually going to look up, I don't even know how many bear we harvest every year in the state.
I have no idea. I think it obviously varies, but
Honestly, I don't know if
I know I haven't got a tag in 4 years, which is the longest time I've ever went.
I'm not even sure I can find that right now. Oh, harvest registration. Does that tell me anything? Yeah, probably not. Nope.
No, every year I think that
website.
I'm gonna next year's my year. Next year's my year, and it's like I'm gonna be older when I get to hunt bear again.
Definitely older. So next question is, what do most of you guys hunt with? Rifle, bow, crossbow?
We have
Or do you use strictly rifle?
beautiful combination of all
sweet.
of them. We have handgun hunters. We have
Nice.
rifle.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, we have rifle. We have archery for both compound and cross guns. I mean, it's.
Cross guns.
But hey, I like crossbows.
I love them.
I mean,
I love
and
them too.
guess what? I didn't have to track either one of those bear that were shot this year
Right.
by the crossbow.
Boom. Which one did you have to track the most, by the way? What did that one get?
Well, that'll lead into our next question.
Okay, I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah,
But,
no.
I mean, we all know.
We all know.
We all know.
It's a caliber I will no longer allow at my camp. So there are cutoffs that I have when using rifles. I do have cartridges cut off that I will not allow. Somebody called me this year and they wanted to bring a 243. I'm like, yeah, no, you gotta find something else. But yeah, we and our trips are truly tailored to the hunter. So that's kind of on my list of questions when they actually book with us. Okay, what are you using? Are you right-handed, left-handed? Do you mind a hang on, or do you prefer a ladder and
That's what I was going
things
to
like
ask you
that?
about your stands.
Yep. So we run them all. We have run ground blinds in the past. We try to cater, just because, somebody might be disabled. This isn't an experience that they should have to miss out on.
Yeah, like this guy.
Like Jimmy.
Pretty much today.
But, so we truly, I mean, we have done ground blinds in the past. I'm not a fan of like pop-up ground blinds anymore, just because we do hunt public land. So there's always that fear factor that somebody's going to be an a-hole and come in and steal it.
Yeah.
But we've never had that happen. What we have had happen is every single ground blind we have ever shut, the bear has came in and laid on top of the damn thing.
That's what I was wondering. That would be my luck. I'd be sitting in the ground blind, and the bear would stick his head through it and go, "Hey, buddy."
And then guess what you do?
I
You
pee my
harvest
pants
that
and I
bear.
run away. Well, technically, yes. My luck, he'd be
You can
collared.
pee your pants or
Yeah,
whatever.
my luck, I'd be collared, so I couldn't.
Well, no, I think you can.
You can.
It's frowned upon.
Yep.
But you can.
You
I
can.
was just reading. It said, "Do not shoot."
Well,
bear."
It
they
asks
may
you
say
not
that.
to. It
They're
asks
like,
you not
pretty
to.
please.
But well, and for good reason. A lot
get
and a
it. I
lot
get
of
it,
tax
but-
dollars go into the research behind those bear.
But I don't think you're going to jail if you do.
So in Minnesota, there is actually only 2, and I have a huge PowerPoint before you guys should come to our next bear camp. I have a huge PowerPoint for all of our hunters. There's
Careful
actually,
what you ask for.
I think I'd enjoy you guys at bourbon camp. There's actually only 2 laws in Minnesota that you do absolutely have to abide for. You can't shoot a cub, which would be
Well,
this year's cub.
I would hope that'd be a no-brainer, but
And the second is you cannot shoot a white phased bear. I have
Really?
never
that's a
seen one.
bummer.
It's actually a gene, you know. So yeah, you can't shoot. Well, like Wisconsin, you can't shoot the
piebald, or well, not piebald's a mix, but
piebald's the mix, but that white gene you can't
Yeah.
shoot them. So same thing in Minnesota, you can't shoot a white phased bear. Bear.
I would like. I guess I get it for that, but honestly, I would.
You can shoot a white deer.
You can in Minnesota.
in
You can-
Minnesota,
yep.
and I would love to. That would be a sweet mount. I don't care
I want
what
the
people
piebald.
say. The piebald are
the
awesome.
black one. What's that one called?
I don't think we have any black ones around here.
No, we do.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
it's
haven't
super
I haven't
rare.
seen
I've
one,
never
but
seen
it's
one.
like it starts with an M.
Melanin, something like
Ooh,
that.
I
Yeah.
think you're close.
Yeah, it starts with an
I've
M.
got a piebald.
Melanated or something like that.
Melanesia or
Something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a piebald down by my place.
You do.
I do. I don't know if it's a buck, honestly. I only see it at a far distance, but you can definitely tell because
piebald.
it's got its belly is mainly
So
piebald.
minimal piebald.
Minimal, yeah. It's
Right.
not all over, but it is definitely piebald.
Wow.
Actually, I think it is a buck, but I don't think it's very big.
Right.
But
Dean's still gonna
I see
shoot
it
it.
really. Oh, if I had a chance, I'd shoot that thing. I'd mount it. I don't
I
care.
actually
Yeah,
this
but if
was,
it's only piebald on its belly, you're not going to get. You're going to have to do
belly
full
and
body.
chest a little bit.
Oh, the chest would be
Yeah,
cool.
get him
If
like a
I got a
stand-up mount.
piebald,
Right.
yeah. If I got a piebald, I'd full mount that thing.
All right.
That would be awesome.
We'll
Either
put
that
it
or have it
here in the
laying down
studio.
and use it as a coffee table type thing.
Ooh, that's
That'd be
fancy
sweet.
living. Spiker.
Melanin.
It probably would
What
be
is
a
it?
speaker.
Melanistic.
Melanistic.
Ah, yep.
Melanistic.
Melanistic.
So that's the dark ones.
That's
Yep.
the dark ones. Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, I've never seen any of the above. I see the brown ones.
Brown ones. Yeah. Yep.
I'm well adapted to shooting those ones.
No, that's pretty cool. I was just looking at report a bear sighting on DNR website, and the whole northern part of the state's black, and they got this green white area. They go, we want to report everything south of.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we know there's bears in this section here.
Yeah, this is
we
a
only give
weird
like
map.
5 permits, but
Yeah, that's crazy. It's over half of the state has bear. The rest, yeah, we're not sure.
yeah, we know about those people
That's
in that
crazy.
other section of the state.
Yeah. But anywho, let's get back to calibers, the best calibers. So, Meat Eater just came out with this post today or article that I thought was very intriguing. The best calibers for bear hunting.
Those meat eater guys are they're meatheads, I think.
So, what actually it says September 6th, but anyways, what's your thought, Jimmy, on the best caliber?
All right.
Your opinion, I should say.
Well, outside of archery, because I always prefer archery,
Okay, this would be what kind of bullet?
bullet.
Yeah.
Out of the guns I own, I would totally rock my 450 Bushmaster.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Because that's going to drop just about anything in a short distance.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And we never hunt bear for more than 100 yards ever
Right.
up here.
Yeah. What's your average range?
So, average range, our farthest stand from the bait is 37 yards.
Right.
Oh, perfect.
So, perfect shot, whether it's archery or rifle. As far as the best calibers for black bear hunting, I haven't read Meat Eater's article yet. I glanced at it. And
Yeah, I didn't read the whole thing either.
it's a lot. Reading's hard at the end of the day. But what I recommend, I can tell you what I don't recommend. and that'll go into a story from
Go ahead
this.
and tell it. Go ahead and say it.
6.5 Creedmoor. If anybody ever shows up on my property again with a 6.5 Creedmoor, I will turn them around and tell
What's
them to go.
the first caliber of that meat eater list right there?
It does say Creedmoor.
No,
I think they've
not
been
at
paid
all.
to say
I
that.
mean, and think about it. You have a bullet traveling, a projectile traveling at 27 to 20, or more feet per second in the distance of 25 to 35 yards. You are not going to get the expansion that you need. And going back to the question on what was the farthest track, that was it. That was it. We had a hunter this year. This is our second time having a 6.5 Creedmoor at camp in the course of 11 years. Yes, both of them are effective because both bear were killed, but we had absolutely no blood trail. I personally don't even like a 270. Now, don't get me wrong. I praise Jack O'Connor.
Blasphemy.
I praise Jack O'Connor. I agree that a 270 cartridge is capable.
But at 30 yards.
But at 30 yards,
you need
you're
a
traveling
big, fat bullet,
so fast.
slow moving.
So fast that, I mean, it's not enough. And it's not the fact that it's not going to kill the animal or be effective. Right. It's for bear, I mean, just like deer, just like anything, they can travel quite a ways, even having double lungs or whatever, they can go far. I personally prefer 30 caliber bullet or bigger. I like... the 30-30s. I like the 35 Remington. 45-70 is my go-to, hands down. Hands down. That's what I use because there's no tracking. So
that's the best way to do it.
Tips right over.
Right?
Any of those larger calibers, especially when you get into like the straight walled cartridges, the 450, the 45-70, that is always my go-to. Sure. But like I tell hunters, bring a 30 caliber or bigger, preferred.
Yep.
So how many of your hunters that were archery? I mean,
so this year we had 2 or 3 crossbows and we had 2 or 3 compounds, and then the remaining were firearms. Shotgun slug, also, you can never go wrong with a shotgun slug.
12 gauge slugs. Yeah. So on those archery ones, you're saying that was less tracking than the 6.5 Creedmoor?
Yes, without a doubt. I love, you get a good mechanical broadhead. I personally don't shoot archery as much or at all. The year that I really started to get into bow hunting, I ended up getting drawn for my first bear tag, and it's been bear hunting ever since. And I haven't got good enough with my bow to actually try.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, don't hold it against me. But and this is where I'm going to sound like a complete ignorance because I have no idea what broadheads are on the market anymore. But
nobody does because half of them are Chinese.
They change all the time.
But and this is, we can get on the debate on fixed blade versus mechanical.
Yep.
Mechanical broadheads that rage hypodermic, I swear to God, can leave a blood trail that Ray Charles could follow.
Oh, yes, I agree with that. I don't use the rage broadheads, but I have seen.
I've used
the
rage.
Aftermath.
Yep,
I do have one hypodermic.
I do actually. I carry hypodermic, and I don't even shoot them, but I do carry one. Hypodermic.
I carry one too.
But I mean, and that's the thing that's one thing that I cannot argue. Not necessarily from a hunting standpoint, but from a tracking standpoint, I swear those things are just lethal.
Right, they are totally.
Yep.
So what you're saying is rage hypodermic beats a 6.5 Creedmoor every day of the week.
Every single day of the week.
I would definitely agree to that.
Right.
The problem that we noticed this year and out of the 11 years that we've been doing this now, we could not believe how much fat was on these bears. How much fat. So what happens is people need to understand that your shot can be effective, but what happens when you have, like a 6.5 Creedmoor, the exit hole I could put my finger through.
Right.
You don't have enough damage. So what happens is the fat will kind of come out that hole and block up, and then they're just bleeding internally.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we've had that happen with both bears that were taken with the 6.5 Creedmoor. Like I said, it's not that the shot the chamber isn't effective. It's just not conducive to track.
Well,
especially when you're within 30 yards. I mean, I shot a smaller buck, a spike buck. What, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
Most years, actually.
3 years ago with my 270, and it was within 20 yards. I want to say it was
Right.
15 yards. And that was the furthest deer I've ever had run. And he ran, maybe 200 yards, 150, 175.
I don't even know which deer you're talking about. So.
He circled around. It was the one that you were to the right of where I would have shot.
Oh,
Another
that
10
deer.
yards
Yeah,
to the right.
you would have shot me
and
right
I would have
there.
shot you at
Yeah.
40 yards away.
Yeah, I remember that deer.
Yeah. So, but we tracked him 175 yards. He came back around. We didn't find blood until about 75 yards.
Right.
Because
And you were shooting what, you said?
I was shooting my 270.
Yeah, right.
But he was within 20 yards. So, I mean, the bullet did not have time
big
to
time.
expand.
It's
And
traveling
that's the
way
problem.
too fast.
Yeah.
And it was
way
a
too
heart
fast.
shot.
Yeah.
And he still traveled
That's why
that
you
fast.
need that big old 450.
And
Yep.
you got to keep in mind, I mean, when these animals get shot, bear, deer,
Oh,
otherwise,
yeah.
I mean, they have so much adrenaline. They can pump themselves and push themselves through. I mean, the benefit of having an exit hole, not only, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to track is it's, they're going to lose a lot of blood. They're going to
Yeah,
wear
right.
down a lot faster.
Yeah, right.
So even though like I kind of knocked down 270 a little bit earlier, I used to own one. And similar story. I've shot deer that we've had to track, and then you're getting them open,
Right.
and I have a double lung and a heart shot, and you're like, why did you go so far?
So what you're saying is the 270 is like the 6.5 of the 90s.
No.
Actually, I'll
But you could,
I'll
you could
probably
almost
agree
I
with
love
that.
the 270 round
You
myself.
could almost say.
I don't know.
Anything within 30 yards,
You got to have a 450 or a slug.
you got to have you
and
gotta
that's-
have a fat
so like
bullet or
even
a
with
bow.
whitetail hunting, out of any of my stands, my farthest shot is going to be 75, 80 yards. That's my farthest shot. My go-to for whitetail hunting up here in northern Minnesota is my 35 Remington.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Yeah, that's a great caliber. Yeah, and of course on here, they talk obviously, shot placement because
Shot placement
I
is
know people that
huge when it comes to
Right.
bear. I
Oh,
cannot
especially with
stress that
bear.
enough.
Yeah.
So, like
that's a huge animal.
two of our bear. Well, and what a lot of people their anatomy is not the same as a whitetail. As any whitetail hunter, we're taught, if it's quartering away or broadside, we're gonna tuck it right in behind that front shoulder.
Yeah.
That is not the same with bear. People need to realize, for a good shot placement, you got to go about 4 to 6 inches back from that front shoulder. Especially with archery, you got to understand that front shoulder blade, that's a steel plate. You're not going to get through it. And that's how we did not recover one of the bear this year, is because he stuck it right in the shoulder. The good thing is that bear's going to live. He's going to have a bum shoulder for a while. But, the shot placement is so critical.
Yeah.
Also, unlike whitetail, bears' internal organs, their membranes and everything holding their organs together are so loose. So, for instance, if they stand up on their hind haunches, their heart, lungs will drop to basically what it would be at the base of the sternum for us.
Yeah.
They move around. They're a lot looser animals. And then you hear about people taking shots trying to, when they're laying down or whatnot.
Yep.
I think with bears, a lot people shoot at the bottom of the fur and they miss.
Well,
They don't realize how far up they actually have to go.
Yeah. So like we say from base of the rib cage or belly, whatever you want to call, to the top of the back, you want to go halfway between there and
Right.
about 4 to 6 inches back from the front shoulder to make a good shot.
Right, because that hide can hang down quite a ways. And
Yeah.
if you aim for that like you would a deer, you aim 2 inches up, you're going to miss.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, of course they talk about the cartridges, Creedmoor 300 Win Mag, 7mm Remington Mag, 308, 30-06.
Well,
Those are not. Those are not what I'd recommend. How are they? Like I said, I haven't read it. How
Where
are they talking?
hunting? Where?
Are they,
Yeah, they-
spot and stalking, or are they over bait?
They didn't really say.
Yeah, because
to
you're
be
walking
honest
out
with
in
you.
the forest cuttings out in Washington, maybe you can get those 100, 200-yard shots.
Alaska,
They
things
did
like
mention
that.
about range and everything, and within 100 yards, and using the fat cartridges, 450, 4570, all those. And then they also talks about shot placement, and that's where the 6.5 Creedmoor comes in, because it's got to be good shot placement.
Well, it's accurate, but
Oh yeah, no doubt
it's
about
a
it.
needle.
It is.
It's a needle.
And the thing is, like, if you see, I seriously think, boys, we're in for a hard winter this year with the amount of fat.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you with all that fat.
Oh,
that's kind of scary, honestly. I haven't got any wood put up.
I mean, we've seen hard winters before, and the bear's moderately fat. I've never seen fat on an animal like this.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one, even I think our smallest one at camp dressed out to be 91 pounds. So a little bit smaller, but I mean, it's a few-year-old bear. Yeah. And the hunter was happy. I mean, that's the best meat to eat.
Right.
Well, if they're happy. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is that thing had at least probably 3 inches of fat on it. And I'm like, I'm dreading it. I'm ready to move because I know what winter's going to be.
Right. The nice thing is this article is pretty basic. I mean, they didn't pick any favorites. They talked about the top 5, I would say.
I would say the only heavy cartridge they mentioned though was the 4570, and but they didn't even list it in their
no, they didn't
ones.
Because so let me read this. Let's see. What does this say? Hunting at close range open up a greater selection of cartridges. Doesn't have to retain energy or velocity at distances over 100 yards. Short and stubby bullets launched by these cartridges have trouble at long ranges, but devastating between 50 and 100. It's like, well, yeah, they are devastating at that. That's what they're made for.
And what about that 0 to 50 range?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why you don't want those fast. Like anything. Like I said, a 6.5 Creedmoor. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I sold the damn things. But if I remember, they're averaging like a standard Remington Corlock averages. Which would be a vital round. I mean, you got a soft copper covered. That's another thing is choice of ammunition.
Yeah. Yep.
Pick your ammunition and pick it wisely.
They do talk about in here too.
Is I hate copper bullets, and I know that's the way that the world is moving to now with especially with lead and threats of that and everything. I despise copper bullets for close range shots. You do not get expansion. I mean, and copper slugs, anything copper, you just muzzle loaders.
It's too hard.
It's too close of a range to get the thorough expansion on a bullet that you need. So I prefer, like a soft tip, or even if, copper coated lead, anything like that, just so you can get that rapid expansion at such a close range.
Yeah, because they're pushing the Creedmoor, the show's velocity. Let me scroll over, 2,700. And then muzzle energy is 22.6. Which let's just compare to a 308. Same muzzle velocity, and then the muzzle energy is a 308 is 2,600 compared to 2,200.
Yeah, but what range?
At what range?
Right. So let's scroll down a little bit.
At 300 yards, but
my closest range that I shot a bear
yards.
That I shot a bear ever, I was 11 yards from the bait.
Right, and around here that's mid range, you know.
Mm-hmm. So down there. And that's the thing. So you're 11 yards away from the bait and everything. So basically, 2,700 down to 2,699 at point of penetration. So
right,
should use a spear.
Honestly, around here you could. I mean, where I hunt, I totally could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, most of my baits I set up at like 25 yards, the max.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome to get a bear with my bow.
Well, next year apply for my area, although you'll never get it because evidently nobody does anymore.
Well, I guess if I do apply for a bear tag and I get it, I guess that just means I got to buy a 4570 again.
I'm gonna win one on the 26.
Yeah,
I'm behind that one
because my 350 Legend, I would not shoot a bear with that.
My 450, I would.
450, I would for sure, but not my 350 Legend.
See, we've actually had bear taken with a 350 Legend, and I was actually impressed. It wasn't this year; it was last year.
Okay.
He had a 350 Legend on a APF, AR platform, and it was actually good. I mean, and the thing that I love about a 350 Legend, I mean, granted, it's a 350 Legend. You're taking a 223 cartridge? You necked it out to fit a 30 caliber bullet or 35 caliber bullet.
Pretty much.
Was it 223 or was it 222?
It was almost. Now look because now.
But I mean, the thing that I love about the 350 Legend, especially for youth hunters, you guys have seen my kids. They're short little Swedes. They have small statures. You have 20% less recoil, yet 20% more penetration compared to that of 223 it was a 223, I believe. I can't remember.
Similar to a 300 blackout, actually.
Yeah.
So
Which is close
So
to
it's
223.
Well, here we go. The rim diameter is the same as a 223 Remington. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
223, they took out, necked out to fit a 35 caliber bullet. We had a bear taken, and just with standard loads, your standard soft tip, wasn't a ballistic tip or anything, but it was. I was impressed by it, and that was last year. And because I was really excited because I wanted to. I'm kind of. I don't know why I'm drawn to maybe I'm drawn to the 350 Legend like you are to the 6.5 Creedmoor. I don't know, but
You're drawn to the 6.5 Creedmoor, Dean?
Only for long distance.
Long
the Creedmoor
distance.
I would do for just long distance shooting.
I do 6.5 300 for long distance shooting.
Yes, but the Creedmoor is a little bit more available and cheaper, so I could do that much more long distance
I
shooting.
don't care if I have to buy my rounds at a high-end store.
Well,
Like
we've
Walmart.
got a connection, kind of.
Huh?
We've got kind of a connection.
Well,
so
he's on
just gotta hook
vacation
us
until the
up.
16th.
I don't know. They're coming out. I've been out of the game for a while. They're coming out with so many cartridges.
Oh,
I
it's
can't
ridiculous.
keep up. Like now they have
I
an
know. Well, they have
8.6
to.
blackout
I
or
know.
something like that. I'm
They're
like,
just
what
doing
the
like
heck?
decimals.
Are they
like
just making
decimals.
stuff up at this
Oh,
point?
it's great marketing.
It isn't though, because if I was going to make a round, I would make it like you got to say Magnum, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Weatherby had something there. Every round was a Magnum,
But the problem is
a 2.7 Magnum.
right? But the problem is when you, even like these PRCs, granted, the normal guy, I am not going to outshoot a barrel with a PRC because.
What are you talking about, barrel?
So with the PRCs, they're the Magnum loads, they're going to wear down a barrel quicker than what your normal would.
Yeah, but
so your
honestly,
normal
for the
shooter,
average guy
I'm not
is
going to
never
wear
gonna-
out a barrel.
No.
The biggest
But
thing
everybody else
is understanding the game that you're chasing, the distance you'll be shooting to
Right.
choose the caliber
Correct.
that you're. Because I mean, what people don't understand, I mean, the 6.5 Creedmoor was a match round because it is deadly accurate and flat shooting and things like that. But it's such a high speed that even though, you can definitely reach out and touch just about anything with them, but it's
a
not going to do
needle.
you much
It's a
good
needle.
less than
Right.
50 yards. So-
I guarantee at 30 yards, the 30-30 is more devastating than the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
Yep.
definitely. And I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah,
and,
right.
and it's
My
not.
crossbow is more deadly.
Yeah,
With the
it
range
is.
hypodermic.
Honestly, it would be extremely more deadly.
But so like the two bear that we tracked with the 6.5 Creedmoor, we actually had to call the
That's
dog
right.
trackers.
Yeah.
And Juliet from Stern Big Game Recovery out of Bemidji, Minnesota, I cannot speak highly enough about her. She is such an awesome lady. I didn't know if the dog had more energy. She's go-to. She
Right.
doesn't take shit from anybody. She gets there and she goes,
Boom.
all right, boys, I'm going to tell you how it goes. She is just a kick-ass woman and I want to be
Really?
her friend.
What's her name?
Awesome.
Juliet.
Juliet out of Bemidji.
Juliet Flint with Stern Big Game
Flint,
Recovery.
Stern.
I'm
That
like,
worried me for a second. I thought she was maybe out of Stern County.
no, her dog's name is Stern.
Oh,
And
right.
that dog is just a powerhouse. I can say out of the bear that was shot, there was at least 3 of them. We had absolutely no blood. No blood at all. It wasn't the fact that it was a bad shot, nothing. We just did not. The one thing, with bear, you can make, like even me, I shot several before and all of a sudden you don't, because they have so much fat, so much hide, so much that
Yeah.
you're going through that it could be 20, 30 yards before you find a blood trail.
Yep.
Well, here, just based on whether it's camera footage, and things like that, and we're following where this bear went off and we could not find blood. Up in northern Minnesota, the phrase "miss by an inch, miss by a mile" has never been more true than where it is here. You could be 10 yards away and not be able to see it. The cover is so thick, the underfoliage and everything is so thick. So we did not find blood. So we called Juliet with Stern Big Game Recovery, and she managed to find all 3 bears for us.
That's awesome.
And it was fantastic. Now, there's a couple we lost a bear this year that one of the hunters had the opportunity of taking because he stuck it in the shoulder versus that bear will live and we're okay with that. Knowing that we never want to wound an animal. We never want to hurt an animal. We want to make the best ethical shot. But it's part of hunting.
Really
it
happens.
And like I tell all of our clients when they're kind of getting down, if we are up in the stand and we don't get excited about it, we don't deserve being up there.
Right. I've stuck a deer in the shoulder down at Ripley.
I think anybody that's hunted for any length of time, I've done it. And another hunter saw it, walking. I don't know why he didn't poke it to finish it off as well, but that's beyond the point. But that deer survived. We know it did. And so it happens with hunting. I mean, that's just the way it is. So bird hunting is coming up.
It is. Faster than I expected.
Yeah, no doubt. So you said that you train your dogs a little bit more.
Yep.
Obviously coming up here and whatnot. So what do you think for the bird hunting forecast? I've been hearing grouse are up.
Yeah.
A lot of areas.
For like the 6th consecutive year in a row.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We live in such a heaven for upland bird hunting. We love rough grouse and I have fun shooting doodles myself. I don't care what anybody says. Woodcock are fun and they taste great.
Oh, they are.
So the bird numbers are, from what we're seeing, and I'm pleasantly surprised by this because we had such a wet spring. I am happy to see the amount. That's kind of how we. So when we're baiting and everything, that's kind of how we kind of gauge what the bird season's going to look like for how many coveys and things that we're bumping. I'm very pleased to say that the bird numbers seem like they're up. I know the DNR report shows the drumming numbers are significantly up, which is. You okay, Jimmy?
That's good stuff, huh?
Good stuff.
Which I try not to base it so much on the drumming numbers because we've seen high drumming, and the rough grouse, like rabbits, they go on a boom and bust cycle. So you're going to be up so many years and then you'll start the downfall. We were told the peak of the run was 4 years ago, and every year it's been getting better. So I don't want to jinx it. Let's knock on some wood, but
let's not jinx it, especially this year.
Pleasantly surprised, because you're going to be hunting with me.
I am.
Are you actually taking him on Alice?
Yeah,
I'm not. Justin is
on October 5th.
I have kids. I have no life.
It's on a Saturday. You can come with us.
Right. Boom.
And we'll bring Finn and Ace a lift too.
Totally side by side.
So. We've been happy because I actually thought we were going to be entering in a down year for a lot of times when we get a really, really wet spring like we had and a really wet summer that kills so many birds, those young birds that just can't, they drown essentially. So, but no, we're looking forward to another great season. We've been seeing a lot of grouse. So.
Good. Yeah.
I'm hoping to do
we've
some
been
grouse
seeing
hunting.
quite a bit around our area. Yeah, we definitely are going to do some grouse hunting. So are you guys booked up for the season?
We are
already?
fully booked up, and we're partially booked up for...
Well, that's great, right?
It is great. Justin's going to hate me, but it's great.
Yeah.
So we are fully booked up for the current year and almost half booked up already for 2025.
No way. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Put that guy to work.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not here, so we can talk about
Exactly. Make him do something.
him. Right?
He's such a good man.
He is such a good man. I love that man.
I gave him 3 days off this month.
You gave him 3 days.
I gave him 3 days off because I was feeling generous. MEA weekend.
How many sick days do you give him?
Negative. He gets negative actually.
Negative.
He's got to tough it out.
Yep.
You break your back, you go to work.
I gave him 3 days off this season, and it's over the weekend of MEA. We hate being in the woods weekend of MEA.
That's the best weekend to be in the woods.
No.
That's what
Everybody else is
right. Exactly.
Everybody else is in the woods. And that weekend, we'll still be in the woods, but we'll be getting our stand set for whitetail. So.
Yeah. That's kind of like your guys' romantic getaway, that whitetail.
Right. Our anniversary always falls around bear baiting opener, and Yep, this is our romantic time.
I get it.
So then so you kind of rotate from bear baiting and bear season, then you roll right into bird hunting.
Right into bird hunting.
And then that just kind of carries over right into ice fishing, I'm assuming. Or do you kind of have a little break time? Well,
we take
whitetail,
November off.
Yeah.
The first 3 weeks of November, or the 3 weeks of deer season for November, we take off.
Okay.
I don't take off.
Right.
Justin takes off.
Right. It's called the rut in the Wiese house.
Right.
So,
Right. That's our secondary guest, Finn, by the way.
Yep.
my 6-year-old son's here with us joining. But so I give him whitetail off. That's where his passion is right now.
Cool.
Up until and who knows what's going to come in the future.
Right.
But we
I like that she says I give him whitetail off.
I give him
It's
whitetail
usually
off.
the opposite.
Right. Exactly. We try to take off for whitetail. So it's like, you don't have any more time off. We got to do this, this, and this.
I'm like, you planned what for what weekend?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like my sister, God, I love her. She got married during deer season. I don't think I'll ever forgive her for that.
So that guy's from the cities.
No. Well, Brainerd's basically the cities right now.
Yeah, close enough. Yep, exactly.
Slow in the head.
I was so mad at her. We used to come up prior to moving up here. We used to go up over by Bemidji and hunt the extended season, and I had to go back because I had to be a maid of honor.
So you had to wear a dress instead of go hunting?
Right? And then
Sounds a lot like Dean.
And then she wouldn't even be at my wedding.
She wouldn't be in your wedding.
No.
When did you get married? What month?
I got married in August,
Yeah,
and had I known that we were going to be Master Bear Outfitters, we would have picked an entirely different month to get married.
Did you get married in August, you know?
No.
What month did you get married? July.
Yeah.
I know it was hot as hell.
Oh my God. That was like the hottest summer.
He's like, yeah, wear
the
this
hottest
black
day ever.
wool suit in July when it's
Honestly,
3,000 degrees.
I should have got married in Kansas. It would have been cooler down there.
I got married in April because I'm not an idiot. Nothing happens in April.
Nothing. That's the best month ever, fool.
Steelhead
I know
fishing.
why you're saying that. And I still made it to your birthday party.
Yeah, you did.
Finn's birthday is in April.
It is.
What day's your birthday, buddy?
April 23rd.
23rd.
Hey, tell
At
you
least
what.
it wasn't a 17th.
Scoot that mic over to him. Pull that over, buddy. Talk right into it. Yeah, twist it down. There you go.
When's your birthday?
April 23rd.
That's a good day.
Sweet.
That's
a good day. Hey, Finn, you helped with bear baiting this year, right?
Yep.
Yep. What was your favorite part?
Eating bear bait.
Eating bear bait.
You were eating the bear bait?
See, that's my problem.
What's-
I don't
what's
We're
the
going to
best
have
part of bait
CPS
bait?
called on us pretty
So,
quick.
is that what Ma feeds you is bear bait? You know, it
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
I knew it.
You
I
dirty
knew it.
little liar.
That's what she brings in for lunch at work, too. Gummy worms.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you got to hang out with, because that was before school. So you got to hang out with Dad every day, going bear baiting and stuff.
Lucky.
In the woods
Yeah.
every day. Finney, why don't you tell them about last night? What happened last night?
Yeah. Talk right into the mic, bud.
Nope.
Nope, he's done.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, good job, buddy. We're happy to have you here.
That's right, buddy.
Yep.
Yep.
Somebody's got to show your mom how to hunt.
That's right. He's going to someday.
Right?
No,
Exactly.
he was in the woods so much waiting for Carl to make an appearance.
Who's Carl?
Who's Carl?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Oh, you named Bigfoot?
What?
I
guess you
they
are
close to Reamer.
You are really close to Reamer.
And evidently that's the Bigfoot capital of the world.
Yep.
Have you seen Carl yet, Finn?
I haven't even spent a lot of time on it.
Yes.
You liar.
When did you see him?
In Alaska.
In Alaska.
I thought you said that was Carl's cousin Dan.
Yeah. There's all kinds of Bigfoots in Alaska, and we just call those dudes.
They're just really hairy.
Chipmunk dads.
They were dads.
Chipmunk dads.
What'd you say?
Chipmunk dads.
Chipmunk dance? Oh,
Oh.
I've never heard of such thing.
We?
stop. So Finn had a big success this year during bear camp. He shot his very first chipmunk with his BB gun.
Cool. Tell us about that,
And
bud.
a squirrel.
And a
And
squirrel.
a squirrel.
Did you eat it?
No.
What? Ma didn't cook it up for you?
I put it in the beer cooler.
The beer cooler.
And then when my dad took it out, everyone started laughing.
So yeah, he shot, and I could not be more proud. But yep, he took out his little Red Ryder because we have such a chipmunk and squirrel problem in our bait shed. And I said, just go start shooting them. I don't even care at this point. Just shoot
That's where
them.
it starts.
And so yeah, he took 3 chipmunks and 1 red squirrel, and he was ecstatic. I had no idea what happened to this red squirrel, and apparently Finn put it on top of the beer cooler or in the beer cooler. So
Nice,
it was
great that
quite.
Bear Camp has a beer cooler.
Yes, it does. And then he tried stuffing it in his lunchbox and bringing it to bed. And I go,
I thought you were saying bring it to school. I was like, that would be
That's
awesome.
what he wanted
Hey
to
guys,
do.
look what Ma sent for lunch
so
today.
that was the
I
argument.
still
So,
gotta skin it.
you know, I spend this money on Amazon getting him a brand new backpack with matching lunchbox, and he's going around camp. And I said, all right, time for bed. We got school in the morning. And then he starts going, I go, where's your red squirrel? And here it's in his lunchbox. And I said,
That's awesome.
no,
Finn. You show your buddies.
does not go in the house. We'll put it in the freezer or something. No, I want to take it for teacher to show my teacher. And
What school do you go to, Finn? Did you go to Reamer?
Cohasset.
No, go ahead.
Do they allow dead animals in Cohasset? They
No.
should. They should.
I almost threw a skunk in there.
Yeah, I've dealt with some skunks.
Well, sounds like Bear Camp was really great for you guys. So that's awesome.
You would call it a successful year, would you?
I would call it a banner year.
Banner year.
It
That's
has
great.
been our best season yet.
Wow.
11 years in. I mean, and there's been, I can't look back and say any year was better. Last year. We don't talk about last year though. You know, I mean, the camaraderie, the people that we have at camp, I mean, it just really makes it what it is.
So when you guys have bear camp, do you guys have like fires at night?
Yep.
Everybody sits around, BS's, talks about
Yep.
their hunt, has
Yep.
a
That's
drink.
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yep. We ask all the hunters to be here on the day before, so August 31st, and then we just kind of run through a PowerPoint, you know, what we hope to expect from you as hunters, what you guys can expect from us as your guides, kind of lay down some ground rules and things like that. And yeah, and that night is always either steak and lobster, depending on market price, or it's steak and shrimp, depending on market price.
That's way too fancy.
Yeah. We're going to Bear Camp.
I had shrimp last night and no thank you.
So
No thank you.
this year, due to the price of the main lobster tails, was ribeyes, and
Sounds pretty good to me.
it was Argentine red wild shrimp. And then I lay out a mess of appetizers, everything from cheese balls to bacon. A lot of bacon stuff.
Nice.
Bacon jalapenos, bacon.
God.
Bacon wrapping cheese balls.
Bacon wrap and jalapenos.
That'd be good.
You know, chocolate dip bacon and everything, which is, if you guys haven't had it, is
Chocolate dip
phenomenal.
bacon jalapenos.
I
There.
feel myself getting fatter right now.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
And then, yeah, I mean, and then after that, every day rolls out the same. The first night, usually, since we have a lot of bear down, or we anticipate to have a lot of bear down, it's usually something easy. Like, I think I do like brats and burgers. And then the next night will
Classic.
be chili. And then the next night will be tacos and things like that. So, but
Awesome.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I provide.
Right.
And yeah, the rest is on them.
About
That's
the
awesome.
bourbon, because you call it bourbon camp. I mean, what are we drinking at bourbon camp?
I found a new favorite this year.
What's your favorite this year?
The new favorite this The new favorite this year it's called Bid Tucker, and I am going.
I don't think I've ever had that.
I don't know. I'm gonna write
It
that down.
is the smoothest. I mean, you can drink it neat. Don't even need the rocks. Just drink it neat. And it was the smoothest that I've ever had. So I actually haven't even looked at where it is or where it's from, but I can tell you I'm going to be stopping at the liquor store on the way home to see if they carry it here in town.
Bid and Tucker. I've never.
Bid Tucker.
Bid Tucker.
Bib. B-I-B.
Bib.
B-I-B. See, I
Bib.
can't even
B-I-B.
spell. B-I-B Tucker.
Bib
Gotcha.
Tucker.
All right. We'll look that up.
And then I'm an old fashioned fan. I love old fashions.
so this guy.
I love me an old fashioned.
I love
a good old
old-fashions.
fashioned. Not
A good old-fashioned.
Not like the shit I make. but a good old fashioned.
Right. Exactly.
Like the kind from Rapids Brewing.
Yep.
But no, bourbon camp joke. I mean, we had clients leave us with bottles of bourbon. I do not supply alcohol whatsoever. I mean, I drink plenty of it, but I don't supply it for,
There's probably some liability there.
It's a liability issue there with the insurance company, but people bring stuff. I mean, in bear camp, it's just really a great time. And that's the thing, it is so much more than the killing or the harvest of an animal.
If you've ever been to like deer camp, it is about so much more than the hunt. It's about the camaraderie.
Yep.
And honestly, if we're going to go back to liability insurances and stuff, just tell them they're all hunting with 6.5s. I mean,
Right? That's, definitely.
it's like a dart gun.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, they're going to be fine.
Yep.
We just finished this off.
No, that's pretty good. That's awesome. No, I'm glad you guys had a good year with bear camp.
Yeah.
That's great. And hopefully it'll be a good bird hunting year, especially for my sake, obviously.
Yeah, because you're hunting, right?
I am, yeah.
Him and Ada.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Do you know where you're going to take them?
I don't. Secret spot.
Secret spot.
You get to go to the secret spot, Dean.
Right.
Secret spot.
There better be birds there.
All I know is
I hope you
we're
can
in a
keep up with my
competition.
dog.
Yeah.
Because you guys are going in October, right?
Yeah.
All right.
October 5th, I think.
Yep.
All right.
First week
So
in
here's the
October.
competition. I'm going to take you in November then.
Okay.
Maybe December.
All right.
And we're going to have competition.
See who can get the most
I'm not
birds.
professional at all.
You don't have a
I
dog.
guarantee.
I have 3.
Oh, no, I'm not bringing dogs. I'm bringing in beer.
You're going to be my dog.
You're going to be my dog.
I'll carry it for you. Throw them back in the Jeep. We'll be good.
Right.
So, no, I mean, we're looking forward to grouse season too. I feel like.
Well, yeah, you're booked already.
Yeah. Well, we're both kind of tired right now. That's why I've
I
been.
bet.
It's been pretty interesting coming back to work this week. I'm like, what day is it? So,
Right.
but yeah, no, we're looking forward. It should be another great year. Grouse hunting likewise is one of those services that we provide that you're just out there to enjoy the sport. I can promise you flushes. I can't promise you birds.
Right.
So it does depend on shot opportunity and placement, and but if you don't take that shot, you're going to miss 100% of the time.
Well,
But-
yeah. You can give them the shots. Most of the time, they're probably going to miss, especially Dean. And
Our dog.
Aiden might be able to get him.
Yep, we have 3 dogs. We have English setters, and they work hard, and put up with a lot of crap to only be used for 1 month out of the year.
Right,
They, such good dogs, and they really, really bust their ass for our clients and for us and everything. So it's rewarding for the dog too. So
Yeah.
For sure.
No, that'll be great. I'm excited.
So what you're saying is you're going to make Dean walk.
yeah, he's
that
got
might be tough.
So
Do it.
I'm trying to figure out which dog to pair him with now, because we have a relatively young dog. That's just.
I'd put him with the
get-
old one that's damn near
I'm
death.
not fast.
So you're telling me to take my 13-year-old Chesapeake
Yes.
out of the house?
It's been a while
He'll
since I've-
almost be able to keep up with that one.
It's been a while since I did a true bird hunt over a dog.
Over
I'll
a
tell
dog.
you that.
So, well, basically, let me lay it out for you. The dogs are going to do their job. You just follow them. When you
Exactly.
hear the beeper collar go off,
Yep.
you go to where they're at.
I'm good with
We
that.
have one dog that runs relatively fairly wide, and then one dog that we train to actually work close, because I can't even keep up with Spec.
Yeah.
So Willie, I say, is my dog because he works close, and he has a hell of a nose on him. But I tell you what, when I don't want to go in, 75, 80 yards when my dog's on point.
Yep.
So I use Willie more often than not. Spec is kind of more so my husband's dog, because he's just gung-ho, balls to the walls. Let's find
Yeah.
the birds, bitches. And
Yep.
he does awesome as well. And then the new pup is coming along. He's getting broke in and doing really well. I think he's going to be another close working dog though too. He's a little bit on the shy side to get away from us. So
Yeah. No, I think
So
it'll be great.
what
I'm
gun are you
excited.
going to outfit your little guy with?
He's going to use my CZ 20 gauge.
20
Yeah.
Yep. And then
do you get to bring a gun?
he
I
gets to
do.
buy a gun.
Yeah,
right?
I get to buy a gun.
Oh, you already bought that gun.
I
trust
haven't
me.
bought it officially, but
Which one are we looking at?
I've got the Mossberg Silver Reserve all black 12 gauge.
Okay.
It is gorgeous looking. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Oh, it's a nice gun.
I
It's a good gun.
was debating because I like the 20 gauge because I'm fat and 12s are heavy and everything.
12s are overkill. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
20.
12 gauge is
People can use what they want. I myself, I shoot a 28.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do.
I shoot a 28. Justin uses a 20. I'll break out my 20 once in a while too, but the 12s are a little bit overkill for the birds. But you get nice, a nice flush. All you want is 20 gauge and a 7.5 shot. So
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm excited. I think it'd be cool. So
I'm looking forward to doing some bird hunting.
yeah,
this year.
I am too. I think it'd be a good year.
Outside of venison, the grouse is my favorite thing to eat out of
Yeah.
the woods.
Yeah, it should
Amen.
be fun. It should be fun. So, how can people get a hold of you?
yeah, so you can find us online at www.wheezeoutdoors.com. That's WHEEZY outdoors.com. You can give us a call at 218-275-7525. And we're available on all of your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever they call it. There you go.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok. And then on YouTube, find our channel where we'll give you all the latest tips, tricks, our latest adventures, everything on Venture North.
Yeah,
Venture North.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, hey, we appreciate you coming in.
Always a pleasure, guys.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, it's real fun. So
Thanks for putting
I
up with
think
us.
after bird hunting, we may have to do it again, or
Well, yeah.
maybe we'll do bird hunting and ice fishing. Maybe we'll wait till
Right,
a little bit
because
later.
we could do ice fishing too.
yeah, have it kind of all
Yeah.
together. So yeah,
You know what?
maybe
No, I
one
just
of
had a
these
great
days.
idea.
What's that?
We do a live from
The ice fishing.
the
shack?
ice shanty.
Oh, there you go.
We can do
Yeah.
that. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, figure that out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Boom.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Tune in until next time. I don't know who we're going to have.
Wow.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do know.
We have Mr. Joe Canella.
I forgot. Yes. That's next week. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Definitely subscribe. Follow. Like.
Yep.
Comment.
All the fun stuff.
Right. And next week, we'll be restarting the trivia again.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do some meat eater trivia next week and see
Right.
how smart everybody is or how ignorant we are. One or the
Right.
other.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and wolf.report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.